we have the archonic beings showing up for the bright souls, bright, innocent, pure souls. Very often these souls are traumatized and feeling very inadequate in their lives. And all of a sudden, they will, in meditation or in an out-of-body experience, they will observe a being that would gracefully show up to them and tell them that they're the chosen one, they're the special one, and they are to bring this information to earth and teach this information. And these people believe it and act upon it and follow without question. And if you pay attention to what happened in the end, or where that leads the human minds, you will see as the same disinformation system as what we have here with all of the infiltration of the spiritual channels. We have current day examples, but let's take a historical example, a real existing living person, not living any longer, but she used to be. She was very religious. She was very traumatized. And she was very sad, very inadequate, very insecure in herself. And she was a pure teenager who did not have any life experiences. And all of a sudden, Archangel Michael, out of all beings, showed up in front of her with two beings that she recognized as the saints. And they told her that she was the chosen one. And they told her that she was to fulfill the God's will. I'm talking about Joan of Arc. She immediately accepted that because for her there was the highest honor, and that was exactly what she believed she was supposed to do with herself. And there was such a fulfillment of her religious desires to be of service to God. And so what happened? She did follow what they were telling her. She cried and suffered looking at thousands and thousands of massacred people on battlefields. It bothered her tender heart. She felt terrible about it, but Archangel Michael and the saints couldn't care less. They were like, that's God's will. Psh, hundreds of thousands of people chopped up on the battlefield. That's God's will. Okay. She was the one who suffered, but she continued because she believed it was God's will. And she continued, and they showed up to her and gave her guidance and gave her support and gave her recommendations of what to do and how to achieve the objective until she fulfilled that objective. And that objective was what? Was to change the power dynamic between countries in Europe. Where is God's will here? That is purely political agenda based on what families were serving the archons, which families were, I don't know, inbred with the archons. I don't get deep into this, but it's all the same system. And they needed to shift the power, so they utilized that person, and they didn't care what was going to happen with thousands and thousands of innocent people who perished through this. And when the time came and she needed protection, where did they go? Where did God's will go? Where did Archangel Michael, the great protector, go? No one showed up for her. She was sold to the enemy, tortured, and then burnt at the stake. And no one came to help her because she was no longer required. She fulfilled the agenda of the archonic political restructuring or whatever, and that's it. And a lot of that is happening nowadays as well. And there'll be these bright souls that blindly follow because the being showed up and is telling them that this is what they're here to do. And we continue blindly believing these beings, but it's all the same system. It's all the same structure.